Addiction comes in many different forms, but while not all of them are necessarily illegal, having too much of anything is certainly bad for you. Heck, even too much love can kill you. Right, Mr. Mercury?
Too much love will kill you if you can't make up your mind.
But some addictions are just too bizarre. Even Dr. Phil can't wrap his head around them.
100 pounds in 6 days. Does that make even common sense to you?
Let's pick the brains of these 9 people with the strangest addictions. What's up, Fact This is Discovery Amuse, serving up your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. Stay tuned because our top pick has probably grown tired of being an adult human and has decided to become an animal instead. I can't say I blame him.
Hey, can you turn your music down, please? Because I'm having a really hard time.
Whatever.
Number 9, thirsty for blood. Now here's a lady who certainly puts the vamp in vampire.
Ophelia, bring the new blood.
Meet Julia Caples, a mom of 2 from Pennsylvania who calls herself a real-life vampire because of her penchant for, well, drinking human blood. Julia has been drinking human blood for nearly 3 decades. It started when she bit the lips of the boy she was kissing during her teenage years and instantly became addicted to the taste of blood.
I associated that sensuality with blood. Needless to say, he never kissed me again.
These days, she drinks up to a half a gallon of human blood a month and claims it unleashes her sexual energy. She even goes as far as saying that it seems to have slowed down her physical aging. Over the years, Julia gained a cult following of worshipers who beg her to drink their blood, but she'll be the first to tell you that she's not an easy girl.
They have to get blood tests, to make sure they're not carrying, bloodborne diseases or AIDS or HIV or any of that.
Keep watching till the end because you might not help but judge the life choices of our number 1 entry. Number 8, gas sniffer. Strangely enough, another woman from Pennsylvania also has a weird compulsion that has fueled concern from her family. Teresa Wise has been addicted to sniffing gasoline for more than 30 years. She sniffed petrol upon waking up and then continued to do so every 10 minutes. She even woke up in the middle of the night just to get her fuel fix.
I don't even know how to explain how it smells. I just love the smell of it, how it makes my nose feel inside the back of my throat. Oh.
She said this addiction started when she was only 13 when her father asked if she wanted to smell gasoline from the container, and despite being unemployed, Teresa spent $400 a month on her petrol dependence. It became so bad that she often chose to spend money on buying gasoline instead of food. She also started experiencing health issues such as anemia, stomach aches, and memory loss, but a physician warned her of the more damaging effects of her addiction.
When you're sniffing the gas, it's not just, in your nose and in your throat. It goes through the tissue and eventually into the blood.
Sadly, on July 9th, 2019, Teresa passed away due to undisclosed reasons. Number 7, brick muncher. Did you know that there's a medical term for the habitual eating of non-food items? This disorder is called pica, and an Indian man named Pakirappa Hunegundi is a prime example of this rare eating disorder. Since he was 10 years old, Pakirappa only ever eats bricks, gravel, and mud, and in case you're wondering how obsessed he is about his favorite grub,
chicken fry
of course, his family and friends have asked him to stop multiple times, but he will not be deterred. He even plans to travel around India to showcase his brick-eating abilities and prides himself on having perfectly strong teeth despite his unusual diet. I guess he doesn't just bite the dust, he chews and swallows it too. Number 6. Ashes to ashes. After only 2.5 years of wedded bliss, Tennessee woman Casey lost her husband in 2011 due to a severe asthma attack. Since then, she has been carrying around her late husband's ashes 24/7, like when she's going to the grocery, eating out, shopping, practically everywhere. She also plans her daily activities based on what she thinks her husband would want.
When I go grocery shopping, I buy the foods that he likes. When I cook what he likes.
But this peculiar compulsion of toting her husband's urn around has evolved into something more extreme. She developed a craving for her late spouse's ashes. It started one day when she was transferring the ashes into a memorial urn, and some of it spilled out onto her hands, so she just licked it off. She has grown to love the taste and even finished about a pound of her husband's remains within 2 months.
It's like an adrenaline rush for me. And the more I eat, the more excited I get until I realize there's not a lot left. Then a few minutes later, I feel horrible because I did it.
More than being a social pariah, eating the ashes poses a greater physiological threat, as the remains contain chemicals that can induce psychosis. So here's to hoping Casey eventually finds a safer way to cope with her loss.
But what is grief, if not love persevering?
Number 5. Coffee enema. Enemas are usually a last resort option for treating constipation, so needless to say, it shouldn't be done too often. But not only do Florida couple Trina and Mike Elliott administer enemas 4 times a day, they use coffee to cleanse their bowels. They sure love the enemas a latte.
I love the way coffee enemas make me feel. I feel like a sense of euphoria. I absolutely would fall apart without them.
The couple explains that this relieved Trina from constipation and kidney stone related problems that she could not achieve through prescription drugs. While at first, Mike thought the whole idea of coffee enemas was gross, he eventually tried it out for himself and realized it was actually cool beans. Clearly, they don't prefer decaf for their detox.
Don't talk to me until I have my coffee!
Number 4, Potty Trained. Congrats for making it this far into the countdown, because things are about to get even more mental. When the TLC show My Strange Addiction filmed this New Yorker named Keisha in 2014, she was expecting her first child, but instead of eating more protein and veggies to keep her baby healthy, she has a peculiar craving for sniffing and chewing urine-soaked diapers. Yep, you bladder believe it.
99 cents. It's a slight little aftertaste, but it's still good, right, Ralph?
Keisha started doing this when she was 20 years old, and years later she's hoarding soiled diapers from friends and strangers. Sometimes she even digs through trash cans. She keeps them around her house and in her purse, for when the craving kicks in.
The heavier ones that have more pee smell better. Yeah. This one's soft.
Since she started, Keisha has collected over 25,000 dirty diapers to satisfy her nasty compulsion. That's enough diapers to last 6 babies a lifetime. Number 3, Castaway. No, I'm not talking about being marooned on an island a la Tom Hanks. We're talking about Orthopedic Casts, and this dude named Kevin Casters from Chicago is obsessed with wearing them, despite being physically fit. Heck, he's even become a local celebrity because of it.
Are you the cast guy?
Yep. For 2 decades, Kevin has been wearing plaster casts on his body and has spent over 50 grand to feed his obsession. When he was about 6 or 7, he would use toilet paper to wrap his limbs to mimic a cast. After a rollerblading accident when he was 12, Kevin was finally able to wear a real cast. Despite the discomfort, Kevin admits loving the attention he gets from his fake injuries.
I absolutely love the attention I get. I use crutches, I use a scooter, I use a wheelchair, whatever it takes.
Kevin says it's also a great way to meet girls in the bar, and he likes making up stories about how he got his unbroken bones. He's even turned it into a conversation piece by having people sign his cast out on the streets of Chicago.
I just like when I have a cast on because people will just come up to me and start asking me questions and I don't have to approach anybody else.
Kevin even has put up his own YouTube channel where he posts his crazy cast ventures. Perhaps he'd make a great castaway on the next season of Survivor.
Travis spoke.
Number 2, Bees Mode. When it comes to bees, a Kentucky resident named Margaret goes full-on beast mode. Although Although she started stinging herself 2 decades ago to relieve the pain from her arthritis, these days she unapologetically does it for sexual pleasure, and she pricks herself with bees up to 100 times a week.
I sting myself on my hip, my elbow, on a finger, my ankle, my forehead, on the tip of my nose.
Margaret now keeps beehives in her own backyard to make sure she has a steady supply of bees, although a doctor warned her that her next sting might cause a fatal allergic reaction, not to mention the countless bees that have to die for her addiction. She just couldn't stop.
Objection! I'm gonna pincushion this guy.
Before we go to our #1 pick, do us a solid and make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to choose all so you won't miss out on any of our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And of course, be sure to turn on notifications in your app settings. #1, #GOAT. When it comes to strange addictions, our top pick might just be the greatest of all time, because he literally once lived like a goat, and oh, it was a hard-knock life indeed. Tired of all the complexities of living as a grown-up man, as we all are, TBH, in 2014, British artist Thomas Thwaites decided to take a holiday from human life and turn himself into a goat for 3 days.
At the time, you know, when I was like, before I'd even started the project, I was at a bit of a low ebb, you know, a bit annoyed with all the kind of complexities of being a human and trying to make money. And
funded by a huge research grant, Thomas had an exoskeleton suit custom made for him and started living in the Swiss Alps, where he ate grass and roamed on all fours with a goat herd. For his experiment, he even won an Ig Nobel Prize for Biology awarded by Harvard. But just in case you're wondering, the goat lifestyle wasn't actually his first choice.
I was originally looking at an elephant, but I sort of went off elephants because they're too sort of human in a way. They, you know.
I feel you, man. Sometimes I just want to be a sloth.
I am doing just
fine
as well.
So, which of these bizarre habits do you think is the hardest to break? Sound off your thoughts in the comments section below. Take home any of our exclusive gear by browsing our merch shelf or clicking the link in the video description. And while you're at it, take our quiz to find out how you can earn extra cash online doing what you do best. Awesome, right? Now, time for a serious reality check, so don't miss our countdown of the 12 things that prove your life is a lie. Till then, live life on your own terms, fact addicts, and see you in the next video!